Imagine waking up to find something essential for survival gone, not stolen, not broken, completely demolished. Now, picture this. My sister, who uses a wheelchair, wakes up to chaos outside her window. Her only way in and out of the house? Reduced to rubble. And the people responsible? The HOA, the same organization that's supposed to protect homeowners, not bulldoze their rights. But here's where they messed up. They had no idea who they were dealing with. Because my sister, she's not just another homeowner. She's the last person you'd ever want to cross. And what happened next? Well, let's just say the HOA's worst nightmare had only just begun. My sister isn't just tough. She's a force of nature. The kind of person who doesn't ask for sympathy, just a fair shot at life. Born with a condition that left her wheelchair bound, she never let it slow her down. Her wheelchair ramp? Not a luxury, a necessity. Her independence depended on it. Then one morning, she wakes up to the sound of destruction. Outside the ramp, her only way in and out was being ripped apart. No warning, no explanation, just bulldozers and blank stares. The culprits? The HOA, a group of people who thought neighborhood aesthetics were more important than basic human rights. But here's where their little power trip backfired. Because my sister, she wasn't just some helpless woman. She was someone they should have never, ever messed with. At first, my sister thought it was a mistake. Maybe construction workers had the wrong house. Maybe this was some sort of misunderstanding. But then she saw the letter. A single sheet of paper taped to her door. Your wheelchair ramp was an unauthorized structure that violated the community's aesthetic standards. Per HOA regulations, it has been removed. That was it. No discussion. No warning. Just a cold, bureaucratic decision that erased her mobility in seconds. The ramp wasn't some flashy decoration. It wasn't lowering property values or disrupting the so-called look of the neighborhood. It was her lifeline, and they tore it down like it was nothing. She sat there, staring at the empty space where her ramp used to be. Shock turned into disbelief. Disbelief into anger. And then something even more dangerous. The HOA thought they'd won, that she'd just accept their decision and move on. What they didn't realize, they had just picked a fight with the worst possible person. And my sister, she wasn't about to let this go. Not now. Not ever. The HOA had made their move. They thought they had all the power. They were dead wrong. Because what they didn't know, what they never even bothered to check, was who they were messing with. My sister wasn't just another homeowner trapped under their petty rules. She wasn't some helpless woman who'd let them walk all over her. She was one of the most feared legal minds in the state. A high-ranking government official who had spent years fighting discrimination, accessibility rights, and corrupt bureaucracies. And now, she had a personal score to settle. She didn't waste time arguing with HOA board members who barely understood the law. No, she went straight for the nuclear option. Within hours, she had filed a federal complaint against the HOA for violating the Americans with Disabilities Act. She sent out a press release exposing their actions. And just for fun, she made a few very important phone calls. Let's just say, when a state senator calls your office, demanding answers, you start sweating. The same HOA that had bulldozed her ramp without hesitation was now scrambling for cover. They thought they had the upper hand. They were about to find out just how wrong they were. The HOA had no idea they had just declared war on the wrong person. Within 24 hours, my sister had set her counterattack in motion. First, she filed a federal lawsuit against the HOA for violating disability rights laws. Not a simple complaint. A full-scale legal assault that could strip them of their authority. Next, she took it public. Every major news station in the city got a tip about a homeowners association bulldozing a disabled woman's wheelchair ramp. Social media exploded with outrage. The story spread like wildfire. The HOA board members, once so smug, were now dodging reporters, deleting emails, and refusing interviews. And just when they thought things couldn't get worse, they did. A civil rights organization caught wind of the case. Disability activists rallied behind my sister, turning this from a neighborhood dispute into a national movement. Suddenly, The HOA wasn't just fighting one woman. They were fighting an entire nation, watching their every move. They had played their hand. Now it was her turn. The moment the news hit, the HOA board went into full-blown meltdown. Their inboxes were flooded with hate mail. Their phones? Ringing nonstop. The once powerful committee that bullied homeowners into submission was now hiding behind closed doors, hoping this would all blow over. It didn't. As my sister's case gained momentum, more victims started coming forward. Elderly residents, single parents, disabled homeowners, all with horror stories of the HOA's ruthless decisions. Suddenly, this wasn't just about a wheelchair ramp. It was about power abuse, discrimination, and corruption. HOA board members scrambled to save face. They issued half-hearted apologies, claiming it was all a misunderstanding. They even offered to rebuild the ramp free of charge. Too late. The damage was done. The world had already seen their true colors. And my sister? She wasn't done yet. The HOA had spent years controlling others with their rules. Now, they were about to see what real consequences looked like. The HOA thought a quick apology and a rebuilt ramp would make this all go away. They were dead wrong. My sister didn't just want a ramp back. She wanted justice. And she got it. Under massive public pressure, the HOA wasn't just forced to rebuild a ramp. They had to rewrite their policies to ensure no homeowner with disabilities would ever face this kind of discrimination again. Not just in our neighborhood, but across the state. Lawsuits piled up. Other communities took notice. Soon, state officials proposed new legislation, all inspired by one woman's fight. The final blow? The HOA president resigned in disgrace, and the board was forced to publicly admit their wrongdoing. And my sister? She didn't just walk away victorious. She walked away a legend. The message was clear. Mess with the wrong person, and you don't just lose. You pay. Power isn't just about titles or positions. It's about knowing your rights and having the courage to fight back. The HOA thought they could push around someone they saw as powerless. They learned the hard way that real power comes from standing up for yourself. But this story isn't just about my sister. It's about you. Unfair rules, corruption, and discrimination exist everywhere. People in authority will always try to control those who don't fight back. But here's the truth. You have more power than you think. One person can challenge injustice. One voice can start a movement. So next time someone tries to take advantage of you, don't just accept it. Stand your ground. Speak up. Fight back. Because sometimes the difference between being a victim and being victorious is the decision to fight.